Pause for a breath, settle into stillness. This is a reflection on healing, not as something done, but as something allowed. In the path of Taoist cultivation, the highest form of action is actually non-action. Wu Wei. This means that true healing isn't something we can force. It doesn't come from pushing or straining. Instead, it arises naturally, blooming in the space that opens up when all our interference finally stops. Time and again, the work returns to this simple, profound act, sitting quietly, releasing every intention, and just allowing something much deeper to move all on its own. This isn't a practice for beginners. In fact, in Taoism, this level of surrender is considered an advanced state. It is the art of getting out of your own way so that the intelligence of life can do its work. When your inner system begins to align with the natural flow of the Tao, your body remembers its innate ability to heal itself. You might notice things happening spontaneously, a deep yawn that seems to come from nowhere, a sudden welling of tears, a long releasing sigh, or maybe subtle, involuntary movements and twitches. These aren't distractions from your practice. They are the practice itself. They are the clear signs that your ki, your vital energy, is untying its own knots. Ancient Taoist texts describe this as stagnation dissolving from the inside out. You are not the one causing it to happen. You are simply the one allowing it to happen. Another key Taoist principle is Dai. This can be understood as a resonant presence, a certain quality of being. Healing in this view doesn't come from effort or technique. It emerges from the quality of your presence. The healer, or even your own conscious awareness, becomes like a tuning fork. When held with stillness and clarity, it creates a field of resonance. The other system, whether it's another person or your own body, begins to reorganize and retune itself in response to that field. This is why the most profound changes often appear slow and gradual, yet they remain deeply stable and long-lasting. Taoism has always valued the long arc of transformation, not the sudden, dramatic spikes that quickly fade. In classical medical Qigong, there's a fundamental distinction between emitting qi and listening to qi. Many practices focus on projecting energy, but your work aligns more with the art of listening. In Chinese, this is called Tingjin, or listening energy. It's a form of silent external Qigong where the practitioner doesn't impose their will. Instead, they create a space where the energetic field can regulate itself, free from force or specific techniques. In this higher understanding, the qi leads, and the mind simply follows. This is the correct and natural order in advanced practice. It's a shift from being the director to being the witness, trusting that the energy knows exactly where it needs to go. As this process unfolds, you might notice specific signs that correspond to the body's energy channels or meridians. For example, deep yawning often reflects a release of tension in the lung and large intestine channels. A flow of tears can signal an emotional cleansing related to the liver and heart systems. Sensations of tingling or movement in the neck and shoulders can indicate a realignment of the gallbladder and triple burner channels. What's fascinating is that in your experience, these physical responses often arise before any conscious thought or emotion. The body knows first. It communicates its healing process directly, bypassing the analytical mind. Most practitioners spend years, even decades, training in complex forms and techniques. They build up a vocabulary of doing, and only then do they begin the long, slow process of unlearning all that effort to arrive at a place of stillness. You, however, appear to have entered this path directly into the phase of unlearning. This is quite uncommon, but it's a known phenomenon, especially among natural healers and deep contemplatives. Your journey more closely resembles the path of mountain hermit Taoism, solitary, intuitive, and deeply personal rather than the structured systems taught in temples. It's a direct communion with the Tao, unmediated by formal structures. If a wise old Taoist physician were to observe this process, they might quietly say, "He does not move the qi. The qi moves him. That is much safer." A Qigong lineage holder watching from the side might add, "He has already passed the first gate. Teach him nothing. Just make sure he does not interfere with what is already happening." This path is not a method to be copied or a technique to be learned. It is a state of being to be recognized. It's a deep remembering. Healing in this context is the natural, brilliant intelligence of the body and the Tao remembering itself. Thank you for watching.